So let's start, students. Today we are going to understand about the frequency polygon and the histogram, how it been constructed and do it in the graph. So it is one of the very important thing which we do use to study in statistics, where we have to represent the given data in the form of a graphical pattern or in a graphical note. सो जब भी हम लोगों के पास किसी भी तरह की ग्राफिकल अरेंजमेंट होती है तो वो असल में एक डेटा को ही रिप्रेजेंट करता है। तो यहाँ पर हम लोग उसी चीज को समझने वाले हैं, उसी चीज को देखने वाले हैं। So frequency polygon and the histogram both are one of the pattern to represent the data in the form of a graph. तो दोनों ही अलग अलग पैटर्न है। फ्रीक्वेंसी पॉलीगॉन भी एक पैटर्न है, हिस्टोग्राम भी एक पैटर्न है। दोनों अलग अलग पैटर्न्स हैं और दोनों अलग अलग तरह से किसी भी एक इंफॉर्मेशन को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए दिया जाता है या दिखाया जाता है। तो इसको हम लोग कैसे रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, किस तरह के डेटा के लिए रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, तो इसको हम लोग यहाँ पर देखते हैं। सो सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल वी डू हैव अ पर्टिकुलर डेटा। तो हम लोगों के पास एक पर्टिकुलर किसी तरह का कोई डेटा दिया हुआ है, अ वेरी कॉमन काइंड ऑफ डेटा व्हिच वी डू यूज फॉर रिप्रेजेंटेशन और द क्वेश्चंस यूज्ड टू कम, दैट इज रिगार्डिंग टू द रेंज ऑफ मार्क्स, and with that one how many students are there in that particular range. So suppose for example we do have a particular column। हम लोगों के पास एक पर्टिकुलर कॉलम इस तरह से दिया हुआ है, ठीक है। और यहाँ पर हम लोगों के पास ये जो है ये रेंज मार्क का दिया हुआ है और उसमें कितने स्टूडेंट्स आ रहे हैं उसको भी हम लोगों को दिया हुआ है। सो से एज फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज द इंफॉर्मेशन ओवर हियर। तो यहाँ पर हम लोगों के पास है मार्क्स ऑब्टेन बाय स्टूडेंट्स, मार्क्स ऑब्टेन बाय स्टूडेंट्स एंड नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स इन ईच कॉलम। तो यहाँ पर कैसे कैसे है, तो अलग अलग मार्क्स के रेंज के बीच में हम लोगों के पास यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, सच एज दिस इज 0 to 10, then we will move to 10 to 20, then we will move to 20 to 30, and then we will move to 30 to 40 and then 40 to 50। तो ये हम लोगों का रेंज इस तरह से दिया हुआ है। तो इस रेंज में हम लोगों के पास मार्क्स दी हुई है। सो दिस इज 0 to 10, दिस इज 10 to 20, then again 20 to 30, then 30 to 40 and then 40 to 50, इस तरह से दिया हुआ है। और यहाँ पर हम लोगों के पास दिया हुआ है फॉर दिस वन say as 5 students are there over here, this one is having say as 8 students are there, here it is 10 students are there, here 12 students are there and here 8 students are there। तो इस तरह से हम लोगों के पास एक डेटा का इंफॉर्मेशन दिया हुआ है। अब अगर हमको बोला जा रहा है कि इस तरह का एक जो डेटा दिया हुआ है रिप्रेजेंट द डेटा इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ फ्रीक्वेंसी पॉलीगॉन, हमको एक फ्रीक्वेंसी पॉलीगॉन के रूप में इसको रिप्रेजेंट करना है। So students, remember whenever you have to go for a frequency polygon, you have to understand that the frequency polygon is a kind of representation what we used to do for the coordinate geometry। हम लोग जब कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री में जाते हैं तो कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री में जिस तरह से रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है या कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री में जिस तरह से क्वांटिटीज को प्लेस अप किया जाता है फॉर एक्स एक्सिस एंड वाई एक्सिस, ठीक उसी तरह का रिप्रेजेंटेशन हम लोगों को फ्रीक्वेंसी पॉलीगॉन में भी यूज करना होता है। इफ यू ऑल रिमेंबर व्हाट वी हैड ऑलरेडी स्टडीड अबाउट द कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री, हम लोग कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री में देख चुके हैं इस तरह से हम लोगों के पास एक्स एक्सिस और वाई एक्सिस होती है और इनके बेसिस पर हम लोगों को किसी पॉइंट को प्लेस अप करना होता है। जैसे कि पर्टिकुलर ये एक पॉइंट हो जाएगी, तो ये पॉइंट जो है ये पॉइंट हम लोगों को एक्स एक्सिस और वाई एक्सिस दोनों को ही दिखाता है। ठीक इसी तरह से अगर मान लो कि कोई एक पॉइंट यहां पर आ जाती है तो यहां पर भी एक्स एक्सिस और वाई एक्सिस के दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट्स का यूज किया जाता है। सो एज वी डू इट इन द कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री, सिमिलरली वी हैव टू डू इट ओवर हियर आल्सो। But in coordinate geometry, as just now we have discussed that we have to go for the x-axis as well as the y-axis। तो हम लोगों को वहां पर x-axis कहां से आएगा या यहाँ पर हम लोग x-axis किस क्वांटिटी को लेंगे, y-axis किस क्वांटिटी को लेंगे, तो इसके लिए हम लोगों को एक और टेबल बनाने की जरूरत है। सो दिस इज आवर क्वेश्चन एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन वी विल गो फॉर अ सिंपल टेबल। हम लोग एक सिंपल टेबल के लिए यहाँ पर चले आएंगे। अब इस टेबल में हम लोगों को करना क्या है, यहाँ पर हम लोग कुछ क्वांटिटीज को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे। किन किन क्वांटिटीज को रिप्रेजेंट करना है, हम लोगों के पास जो यहाँ पर दिया हुआ है क्लास रेंज जो दिया हुआ है, इसके साथ हम लोग एक क्वांटिटी निकाल के लाएंगे जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं क्लास मार्क. If you all remember, we had discussed it in the previous class where we know for this thing, class mark is the sum of the lower limit plus upper limit by 2. जब हम लोग लोअर लिमिट और अपर लिमिट को सम कर देते हैं यानी उनका ऐड कर देते हैं और फिर उसको 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो उससे आ जाती है हम लोगों का कैलकुलेशन फॉर द क्लास मार्क. तो उसका हम लोग कैलकुलेशन करेंगे. तो यहाँ पर क्लास रेंज दिया हुआ है हम लोगों के पास यहाँ पर. सो क्लास रेंज जो अलग अलग क्लास रेंजेस दी हुई है, सो दैट इज 0 to 10, देन 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, then 30 to 40, and then 40 to 50. ये हो गया हम लोगों का क्लास रेंज. अब इसके साथ हम लोग कैलकुलेट करेंगे यहाँ पर क्लास मार्क. क्लास मार्क जब हम लोग कैलकुलेट करेंगे तो जैसे अभी भी बताया, लोअर लिमिट प्लस अपर लिमिट बाय 2. तो यहाँ पर ये कितना आएगा 5, बिकॉज 0 plus 10 by 2 is 5. Then 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 by 2 is 15. Then 20 plus 30, 50, 50 by 2 is 25. Then 30 plus 40, 70, 70 by 2 is 35. Then 40 plus 50, 90, 90 by 2 is 45. तो यहाँ पर ये क्लास मार्क हम लोगों के निकल के आ गए. और फिर हम लोग चले आते हैं फ्रीक्वेंसी के ऊपर. सो व्हाट इज फ्रीक्वेंसी? फ्रीक्वेंसी इज द नंबर ऑफ क्वांटिटी गिवन फॉर ईच पर्टिकुलर इन और इंडिविजुअल रेंज. तो अलग अलग रेंज के लिए क्या दिया हुआ है, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर 0 to 10 इट इज 5, देन फॉर 10 to 20 इट इज 8, then for 20 to 30 it is 10, then 30 to 40 it is 12, and then 40 to 50 it is 8. तो हम लोगों के पास ये क्वांटिटीज आ गई. जब हम लोगों के पास ये सारी क्वांटिटीज आ चुकी हैं तो इन क्वांटिटीज का यूटिलाइज करेंगे और इन क्वांटिटीज को यूटिलाइज करके हम लोग रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे उन सभी पॉइंट्स को ऑन द ग्राफ. तो यहां पर हम लोगों की जो ग्राफ बनने वाली है दैट इज फॉर द पॉजिटिव टू पॉजिटिव. So as I had discussed already that when we go for the frequency polygon, it is actually the representation of the graph in a coordinate geometry form. As we had done in coordinate geometry, there are 4 quadrants, first, second, third, and fourth, in which the first one used to be the positive. That quadrant only we are going to use over here. So let's see how we can do it. So first of all, we are going to construct the lines of the graph on the graph paper. So I'm using the white screen right now. When you will construct the frequency polygon, you just use a graph paper, and in that graph paper, you choose the end lines from the left side. First or second end line you can take, and similarly you can go from the bottom, first or second end line you can go for, and you can just draw these 2 lines, and that would be your x-axis and y-axis. So over here, this is going to your x-axis, and over here this is going to be your y-axis, and both are going to be positive. Thus we are observing that this is our first quadrant. Now in this first quadrant we need to represent our quantities. So how we are going to represent our quantities? So before going for representation of the quantity, we have to choose our scale over here. You all know for this thing that in a graph paper there is a division of 10 columns. After 10 columns there is a dark line. So on that one, you just decide that what quantity you are going to place. So such as, for example, right now I'm going to take it for 5. Sorry, this is not 0. This would be our 0. This is origin. This is 0. I will take it over here 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, and then 25, and then 30, and similarly 35, then 40 and 45, like this. Okay, now one more thing before I go ahead, one more thing which you do use to observe over here, your class mark will be the x-axis. Okay, this is going to be your x-axis, and the frequency is going to be your y-axis. So please be mindful for this thing. You can note down it in your book also with the help of your pencil, so that it will be easy for you. When you are going for the x-axis, that is going to be represented by the class mark. The class mark will represent the x-axis value, and the y-axis value is going to be represented by the frequency. Okay, or frequency will be used for representing the y-axis. Now to the other side, what quantity should be used over there? Now, according to the need or according to the choice, such as, for example, we do have smaller values, 5, 8, 10, 8, this kind of values are there. So I don't need to take a very big value on the x-axis, sorry, on the y-axis. So what I will go for, I will go for the simple values or simple numbers, such as, for example, if I will go for say as 4, okay, then it is going to be 8 over here, then it is going to be 12, then it is going to be 16, and then it is going to be 18. Or you can go for any other value, such as, for example, you can go for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like that also you can go. It depends on you that how you want to choose or how you want to represent the quantities over here. So I'm taking 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 because it is going to be useful here. Now, how I have to represent it out? Just now, as I had said, the x-axis is going to be the class mark and the frequency is going to be the y-axis. So as for the coordinate geometry, you have to go for the first points, x and then y. So x and y. So over here it is 5 and here it is also 5. So it is 5 for 5. So 5 will be coming just somewhere between over here 4 and 8. So the exact middle will be 6. The lower than to 6 is going to be 5. So I am assuming that over here it is going to be the 5 and here the x-axis 5 is there. So this particular point is going to be as our first point. Okay, this point is going to be the first point over here. The next one is going to be 15 and 8. 15 and 8. So over here it is 15 and over here it is 8. So if I will go for that one, so it is going to something like this. And again, as I'm not using a proper graph paper, so my lines are not so very straight, but when you will draw it in a graph paper, then you will find that they are very much straight to each other. The next one is given as for 25, 10. So 25 and 10. So 10 will come between 8 and 10. So 8 and 12. So it is going to be somewhere here. So this is going to be our point over here. The next one is 35 and 12. So 35 and 12. So it is going to be somewhere here. Oh, sorry. I had just done it in 30 only. It will be in 35. So it will be somewhere over here. And please use your scale to draw the lines so that it would be easy to identify or locate them individually. Now the last one is 45 and 8. So 45 and 8. So 8 is over here only. So if I will go for this one, then my line is going to be over here. So this point is going to be my line. Now, after you got all the points represented over here, when you had represented all the points over here, now what you need to do, you just join all the lines over here. So just you join this one with this one. You can join it with this one, and then over here this one and this one. It is not necessary that they will always come in a straight path, but you can just able to join it like this. So this is only the frequency polygon. So like this you can get the frequency polygon. There are some more things also, such as, for example, in some frequency polygons we do use to start our reading from the origin. We can take one extra class over here and one extra class over here, so that our lines can be starting from the origin. We can do it over here also, such as, for example, we can start it from here, from 0 to 10. It is the class range it has been given. I assume that -10 to 0, if there is any possibility. For the marks, it is not possible. For marks, it is not possible. But suppose, for example, the reading is given for temperature. So for temperature, it is possible. So in that one, we can go for -10 to 0. So in that one, my class mark will be -5 and my frequency will be 0. And we can go for one extra also, 50 to 60 value. Then the class mark is going to be 55 and the frequency is going to be 0. If we are going for that kind of situation, then we will observe that our reading will start from origin. We can start our reading from the origin. Just that much of difference it would be. That much of difference it would be. Like this, the line is going to form. But if you want to go for just for the values which is given in the question, it is also correct. But if you want to go for some kind of quantities or some specific classes can be there, in that one you can choose. You can choose that reading, and with that reading also you can start your representation in the frequency polygon. So I hope that you all had understood. Is it clear now? Yes or no? Or any doubt? Yes.
So it's clear.
Okay. So then could we move to the next one? Then we can go for the histogram. Histogram is also a very important one, which is regarding to this representation of data. So over here, the histogram is also going to be represented with this table only, the table which is given, the data which is given over here. I will use that same data. Okay. And with this data only, I will represent the quantities in the pattern of a histogram. So just a minute, let me just clean out all these things which we don't require over there. So for the construction of the histogram for our data which is given to us, we don't require to go for the class mark. Class mark is not necessary. Class mark is only important for the condition of the representation of the frequency polygon. So if we are going for frequency polygon, under that situation, we have to use the class mark. Otherwise, it is not necessary. Now, let's continue and understand how we can go for the representation of a frequency polygon with the help of this thing. Now, for the frequency polygon, as we have the range from 0 to 10 or 10 to 20 or 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So we have to be mindful for that one, that we should have that much of quantity. So I will just do a slight change over here. I will increase my values over here. So first of all, I will increase the length of the line over here. This line will be a little bit of increased because I require over here 50. I require 50 here. So this is 50 and this is 55, this is 60. Or you can go for only 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Like that also you can go. There is no necessity of going like this also. But if you are going like this, then also there is no problem. Now, how you have to represent for the condition of a histogram. So in a histogram, we go for this particular reason. So 0 to 10. 0 to 10. So means from 0 to 10, it is going to be represented. So for what value it is going to represent? It is going to represent for 5. So our 5 is going to be somewhere over here, this particular point. So what I need to do, I just draw one column like this. A column will be drawn like this. Okay, so this is going to represent for 0 to 10, and that is for y-axis, it is going to represent for 5. The next one which I have to go for, that is for 10 to 20, and that will represent for 8. So I will go for a column like this. I will just draw a column like this, which is going to be till 8. Like this it is going to be. So 10 to 20, it is going to be for 8. The next column which we have to go over here, that is for 20 to 30, that is 10. So 20 to 30 and 10 will be somewhere between 8 and 12. So 20 to 30, our line is going to form in this particular pattern. So it is going to be in the middle over here. The next one is the 30 to 40. So 30 to 40 is going to be represented for 12. So how we can going to represent the 12? So 30 to 40, this is going to be our line. And then we do have for the last one, that is 40 to 50, that is again 8. So for 8, how we can represent? We have to represent it with this one. So like this, we can represent it out. So all the columns which is going to be present over here, all the individual columns, this is the first column. This is the first column. Then we do have our second column. We do have our second column here. So you can set it. It will be easy to locate, or it will be easy to identify. Then we do use to observe that our third column is also here. Okay. And then the fourth column, I will go for the fourth column also. I'm just using the colors to set it out, but it is not necessary that you have to use the colors. I'm just representing the colors so that it will be identifiable. You can identify it out. You can easily identify it out, as well as it will be easy to know also. Or okay, or it will be easy to recognize also. So just a minute, it got disturbed in the middle. Mm, Sorry. Okay, again it got disturbed. Sorry, just I will make it in quick manner so that we don't have to wait. Okay, so this is for the fourth column, and then we will go for the fifth one. And the fifth one is the last one over here. This is the fifth one. So like this, we can represent the quantities. So this is the way. So like this, you can be able to construct the histogram. So the histogram is there. So for each column, this is the first range. The first range is between 0 to 10, and then second range is from 10 to 20, and similarly it is 20 to 30, then 30 to 40. Like that, you can go for different ranges over there. So I hope that you had understood how to represent the histogram. Histogram is little different than to the bar graph which you used to draw early in your previous classes. In your bar graph construction, you do used to observe that all the bars used to separate from each other. But over here, as the quantities or the distribution which has been given to us, or the range which is given over here, that is in the continuous manner. Thus, our graph will be also in a continuous manner. They will not be in a separate column. So I hope now you will be able to do the questions regarding the histogram as well as the frequency polygon. So is it clear, or is there any doubt? If any doubt is there, then you can ask for it. Yes. Do anyone is having any problem or any query or anything you want to clarify? Yes or
No, sir.
no? Okay. So then I will request that you go through the exercise. And as I said earlier also, wherever you do use to find any kind of trouble or any kind of problem, you can just feel free to ask me. Okay. So in the next class, we will understand or we will study some more things. For today, I'm ending it over here. Bye. Thank you. Good night.